too. Me too. This should be awesome. I'm doing good. Let me get your form pulled up here. So what I'll do is I'll have this recorded. I'll have it sent to you by tomorrow. And if you have any questions after the session, you could just message me anytime. Sound good?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, all good.
All right. So what got you interested in coaching?
Honestly, like I like the competitiveness of getting better at a game. I can't do like any competitive sports anymore, so I'm trying to
Sure.
like the way I kind of like put it is I'm trying to like replicate like that big game sort of thing. So
Yeah.
I like the feeling of like, like where it's like a 2-2 sort of game in Overwatch and you're battling for the last point and like
Yeah.
it's kind of a rush.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, it's a great game and it feels very intense in many ways, like a real sport as well, which is why I always liked it. But okay, how long have you been playing?
Since Overwatch 2 came out, like I didn't touch Overwatch 1, haven't even heard of the game. And then I kind of was getting sick of Fortnite, seeing that Overwatch 2, like actually I don't know if my phone heard me because as soon as I like was saying I was getting sick of Fortnite, I started saying Overwatch 2 is coming for free, and I'm like, oh okay. So as soon as that
Dang
dropped,
it.
I downloaded it a little bit, was off and on it, and then I can't remember what season. I want to say season 6 is when I really started like putting the hours in. Like whatever season it was out of May last year is when I got my PlayStation 5 is when I really put the hours into it.
Okay. Cool. So had you played first person shooters before or the equivalent before?
Just like Call of Duty and stuff. This was totally new to me, like the whole abilities and like having everything special and certain characters. Like I tried a little bit of Apex, but I like deleted it every time I downloaded it.
Okay. Makes sense. Let's keep going here. So Moira and Lucio.
Yeah,
So,
that's kind of who I was. I was into the Kariko Ana main sort of thing, but that was only because of the whole Malga situation. Like I love the mobility aspects of the heroes. Like even when I play DPS, like I try to do like a Sombra or like someone with mobility to like get in and get out sort of thing.
right. Okay. Fair enough. And then I assume that you've probably tried a little bit of everything and just Moira Lucio still like
Yeah.
has that appeal.
Yeah. I basically can like if someone asks like, hey, can we get some of these guys? Like I'm fairly confident on picking any one of the sports except for like Mercy. Like I'm not a very good Mercy player, believe it or not.
Fair enough. Okay. I mean, she's definitely got a unique skill set. So yeah. Okay. Makes sense. Let's keep going here. So Moira Lucio, been playing for a while, been playing a little bit of the other supports, but keep coming back to Moira Lucio. You're floating on plat right now. And then the forum says, what do you have to get out of the session? Properly engaging and disengaging in fights, learning if it's a good time or if I picked a bad time. Okay. Am I supporting the wrong teammates at certain times? Picking the proper heroes for the right compositions. If I shouldn't be worried about this counter picking to complement my team, positioning. So basically, just all that kind of gameplay.
Just because like I feel like I'm guessing right now. I've everything that I'm doing. Like I'm also relaying. Like I play with a couple of my buddies, and like one guy just hit diamond and stuff. But I also feel like I'm relaying a lot, or I'm guessing a lot of things that I'm telling them, and like if we're doing it right or if we're doing it wrong, or like they're coming to me for a lot of information because they know I'm heavy into it, right? But lots of times I feel like I'm just guessing, so it'd be nice to get a little clarity.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
Also, like I wanted to kind of like ask you, would you prioritize having a gelling with your team composition or counter picking the other team if you're having a problem?
I would generally counterpick just because gelling with your team composition is honestly a lot harder skill.
Yeah, okay.
So it's like it's harder. For example, it's like people are like, "Oh, Moira's good with Ryan," and I'm like, "Well, not really, right?" And Lucio's good with Orisa or whatever, and it's like, well, yes and no. Like it's complicated. So it's like I found like counterpicking to be more of like this character has direct objective value versus this character. So I did this with like the counterpick video I did a few weeks ago, and I realized that just in general counterpicking is just easier than it is synergies picking, unless there's like an obvious synergy. I would factor in enemy composition and the map into my hero choice.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you have like the Moira Lucio hero pool, then you have like two heroes that are pretty flexible and it can do different things. So just pick which one makes the most sense on the map, the enemy composition. And obviously, if you roll out the hero and you're like, hey, I'm 75% to ult, stick with it.
Okay.
and find ways to adapt your playstyle more. So like, I think focusing on like adapting your playstyle is so important. So,
rather than just switching to another hero.
Right. And I think that like, certainly at your point in time, I think knowing your limits is going to be really, really important. So it's like, it's not saying that swapping isn't important. It's just that you don't right now fully understand when you need to swap and when you shouldn't swap, because you haven't really pushed your limits, right? So you should push your limits first and be like, man, I'm slamming my head into the wall. I've tried adjusting, I've tried adapting, I've tried this and place, and I cannot make any headway. Then maybe it is the character, right?
Yeah.
But until you've done that and smash your head up against the wall, you don't really know how strong the wall is. Let's put it that way. Okay. How often, how long do you play Overwatch? 4 hours a day on days that I work, 6 to 10 hours on days I don't work. So you're grinder, you're streamer. You've been pretty busy with that kind of stuff. Now, how is that time spent? Is it mostly ranked or is it other stuff?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, like it's ranked all the time. I'll do my warm up when I get on, like the aim trainer, a couple quick plays, the Lucio wall ride, like rollout sort of thing to get my thumbs warmed up.
Sure.
And then once I feel like I'm okay, if I have like a good round or it's like a little ego boost, I'll be like, hey, let's get into it.
Sure.
I do like the whole like warm up. I don't usually just like get up and load a competitive game in, but competitive. Okay. I think I have 90 hours on competitive this season.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I would say anywhere from 5, 10, 15 minutes is a good enough warm up, depending on how you feel that day and depending on the person. So as long as you're like checking somewhere around there, it's probably fine. Okay. And then that's all competitive. Now I will say, obviously you have some conflicting, not conflicting goals here, but you have you have some baggage, right? Because you're a streamer, so you're working on those things. And so, length with stream and consistency with streaming is important. And the problem, go ahead.
I will say I have found that I do play better off stream. Like when I'm more
naturally.
Focused. Yeah. Like I'm not
naturally.
To, like, look
naturally.
And, like, so I kind of have like dumbed it down a little bit, and like because I do want to get like better at the game. That is my goal to like get better, get higher and stuff though.
Right. So what I will say is it's not necessarily bad for you to stream. Now, I mean, obviously it's a little bit of a distraction, but it is what it is. For me, I'm more concerned about the length because you're playing for many, many, many hours, and then you're streaming for many, many hours, right? Because that's the goal. So what I would do is I would do what I like to call segment, where you have your warm-up block, you have your training block, you have your fun block.
Okay.
And so what that means is, in my experience, most people can play Overwatch on days that you're working, on 7 hours of sleep, and then obviously there's the external factor of like, how much energy you have as a person, and there's like some personal stuff. Generally for that, I would say you probably have around 2 hours of training per day.
Right.
On days that you don't work and days where you get 8 hours of sleep, you probably have 3 or 4.
Okay.
So what you need to do is you need to go, okay, I have 5 to 10 minutes of warm up. On my days that I work, I have 1.5 to 2 hours of focused rank play. Then, because I want to keep playing, because it's fun, or I'm playing with friends, or I'm streaming, whatever, then I play for fun. But I'm literally turning my brain off as best as I possibly can, and just playing, just having a good time.
Yeah. Okay.
You're not trying to do anything. You're just out there training. But the reason why that's so important is because we don't want osmosis. We don't want where your training time starts to trickle into your fun time, and your fun time starts to trickle into your training time. There needs to be a differentiation. Your brain needs to know it is time to not work, but it is time to focus, give everything that you got. It's going to be fun because, competition is fun, right? And proving is fun. But there is a extra level of focus and energy that's given there. And not to be corny, but 110%, what the cringe coaches used to say, but seriously, you want to give as close to 100% as you possibly can, and then just completely let it go once you reach that point.
That's funny that you say that, because that's literally what me and my duo and another buddy did the other day. Like we usually grind competitive together for a little bit, and then the other day we're just like, hey boys, this one's just all about fun, and we all played different roles and different ranks or different. Yes, and it was relieving actually. It felt good, like a weight off our shoulders. Yeah. I mean, that's what Overwatch is supposed to be when you play it for any long period of time. Like I have any time back in the day when I was like hard grinding for longer than like 4 hours on it. It's something bad always happened. It always happened either we won a loss streak or I had a tilting game, or it just felt like I wasn't giving full energy. It's just not possible. Like it's just not psychologically and mentally possible. Like you just don't have that level of focus and energy. So you need to play around that, right? You need to kind of set the bar where how much sleep did I get? How stressful the day of work, and play around it.
you know? And it doesn't mean that you need to stop playing after that if you want to keep playing it. Like you said, you've got your stream goals. So that's fine. Just off roll, play differently. Now, the only challenge is going to be if you want to keep playing Moira and Lucio and you want to keep playing ranked, because in the back of your brain, you're thinking, man, I got stakes in this, right? Because I got SR that I may be losing. So you either need to be like, I really don't care. I'll gain it back tomorrow. And overall, like, let's put it this way. Your fun skill level is going to continually slowly improve because you're training, right?
Right.
Like a diamond player that's not trying might play like a plat. A masters player that's not trying might play like a diamond. You kind of see what I'm saying? Yep. So that is one way to approach it. Probably the safest way to approach it is you might just need to play quick play. You might need to off roll, or you might need another account.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
So that would be the way that I would approach it. That's probably the safest bet, just so that you don't feel like, oh no. Again, we don't want that osmosis. We don't want the fun bleeding into the training, and the training to bleed into the fun.
Yeah, I get that. That makes sense.
So you can kind of toy with that and tweak with that and find out what's the best solution for you. Over the course of the next couple of months. But yeah,
just dumb it down. Just don't overdo it.
Right, exactly. Again, segment. You have to segment and find the solution for where when you play fun, you don't feel like, oh crap, I'm losing games. Like you need to find what's my solution to that. Because you gotta. I've worked with people that have only played competitive an hour a day, and they got to Grandmaster. Okay. But the level of focus that they give is just not something that most people do. Yeah. And I say most people, I mean like 99% of people do. Like they just go full out, full focus, and always giving it 100%, And then another thing I always recommend, especially for longer play times as well, is taking short breaks between cues as well. Get up from the seat, put the controller down, and so on. So that's something that I would incorporate for your longer sessions as well. It's just like a minute, 30 seconds, literally. It's good. Okay. All right. Goals. Get better and climb ranks. Become known as a good Overwatch player. Play a lot of sports growing up. Oh, what sports?
Just hockey, like mostly hockey, but then like just basically like basketball.
Nice.
Softball and all this stuff. But yeah, hockey.
That's awesome. I lived in New Hampshire for like 8 or 9 years, and hockey's like unbelievable up there. It's crazy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You go to any games and stuff?
Yeah. No, heck no. I was. It was too freezing. It was like -5, so I'm just staying inside half the time. But no, I also wasn't a huge hockey fan. I was more of like football and baseball growing up.
I just got into watching football a couple of years ago, and I picked Baltimore to be my team. So looking pretty good this year.
Wait a second. Wait. You picked what?
I picked Baltimore to be
that's a good choice. The colors are sick. I've always loved. Even when I was like a kid, I grew up loving Baltimore because I was like purple black. It looks so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're looking good. They should. I mean, I feel like if they don't make it to the Super Bowl, it has to be a disappointment. So
yeah.
Sure. I grew up being a Dallas Cowboys fan, so I just it's been misery for 20 years. Anyway.
I tore my ACL twice, so that's why I can't the same leg. So.
Ouch, dude, that sucks. No. Ouch.
So,
sorry to hear that.
Took up golf last year, and then now I'm trying to get into this.
Golf is good. Golf is gonna carry over to Overwatch nicely because it's gonna you have to hit the shot, So it's the level of focus that you bring in. It's there's gonna be some moments in Overwatch where you have to make the play, right? And it's that level. I always love playing mini golf because it's it feels like I'm training my mental strength. So. It's not exactly the same thing, but yeah. All right. No point in playing if I'm not trying to get better. Not that it doesn't mean I don't just playing for comp, to game, to get better, to improve. What do you feel is holding back from improving? I've only played the game consistently since May, so learning strats and what works has been a constant battle. I feel like game sense is a big thing. Also mechanics. Without coming time from playing the game, awareness is a big concern. 7 hours of sleep. Solid. Could be better, but it's not bad.
It usually just depends because I can work either an afternoon shift or a day shift. Yeah. So if I have to get switched or something, then I'll usually lose a little bit.
Sure. Okay. Well, I guess that's pretty much it here. So do you have any other questions before we get into gameplay?
Nope. Not at all.
Let's do this. So I'm gonna start sharing my screen again. Now I've already streamed once, and so when I restart stream, you might not see anything. So what you might need to click on my profile picture at the top of the Discord and then click over one if you see that.
Click over one.
So click on my profile picture.
Oh, yeah.
And do you see it now? Yeah. Kind of weird when you stop the stream and restart, it gets all wonky. Okay, so what code do you want to start with here? Well, go ahead.
Sorry, I'm not seeing it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, click. Oh, over this one. Yeah. I see.
Got it?
Yeah, got it.
Okay.
We can start with just the Lucio one because we got wiped that game, and it's kind of the only gameplay.
Sure. Works for me. Now, what's your breakdown approximately of Lucio versus Moira?
What makes me choose either or?
Well, what's your percentage playtime? I guess I would ask. Like, how much Lucio versus how much Moira?
I actually just checked yesterday. I think I have 13 hours on Moira, and I think it was like a little bit less, maybe like 8 or 9 hours on Lucio, and the win percentages are like 54%.
Okay, so like 60-40 Moira. Okay, sounds good. So do you want to look at a little bit of Moira and a little bit of Lucio then?
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. We'll try to keep that in mind then. All right, so what is Lucio good at? What are some things you've been practicing with Lucio? What are some things that you try to do with Lucio? And so
on. I've been trying to like look for what heroes I can like engage if we have like a Mercy or
Sure.
whoever our other support is. Like I want to make sure that they're watching certain players, and then that whoever we have that are flanking or that I need to like push in or speed out.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be doing that. I'm not just like I'm not really real confident on like doing things on my own. Unless I see like a Widow on the other end, and then Frogger has like brainwashed me to go like push.
Sure. The thing with Lucio is it's about like we always talk about like helping your teammates, but really a lot of Lucio is practicing and building that confidence when it comes to making plays, because Lucio is a great opportunist. I wouldn't say that he's like, let's put it this way: Lucio can contribute on almost any 1v1. Junkrat, Roadhog, Lifeweaver, Ashe. I'm just reading through the compositions here. Sombra, Genji, Kiriko, Ana, right? There's situations in which you could contribute and threaten and be an annoying little gnat to every single one of those characters. The problem with Lucio is that you kind of need some stars to align. Not stars to align, but you need the right situation. You need preferably to have your amp. You definitely need a wall to ride on. You would like them to be missing a cooldown, and most importantly, you'd like them to be close, right? We talk about like sniper characters. Lucio's not a sniper character, not even close. So you really need to find like, okay, who's in a position to where I can pressure them? And if you could do that while still having somebody in your team in your aura, that's a +1. And I find Lucio in many ways to be one of the most, if not the most complicated decision-making support in the game.
He's been a battle, that's for sure. Like I have really good games on him, and then I have really bad games on him. The only reason why I didn't swap here, and like I don't even know if Blizzard World is a Lucio map, but this was like this morning. I got this morning, and I was just trying to get some Lucio gameplay. So
sure. I mean, the way I look at it is, it's like, you talk about like a diva and how the positions and decisions she has to make. It's the same thing with Lucio. So, okay, let's take a look. So I want you to think about controlling space. Who in the enemy team is taking aggressive angles? Who could I deny from taking an aggressive angle? Who could I protect my team from? Because if you look at this like right here, you might be asking yourself, I'm not stacked with my team, right? So am I feeding? Well, not really. Because first off, you see your number in the middle of your screen. Somebody's getting value out of your aura besides you. That's good. The other thing is as well is like, what if, like, let's say this Genji tried to sneak in here? What would he try to do to your team?
He's going to dive the Ashe probably, or the Reaver. I'd assume.
Right. Agreed. So you being here, do you see kind of what value you're getting by being here?
Yeah, I'm kind of adding a little pressure. Like
right.
Would you say, like, or am I adding no pressure?
No, I think you're definitely adding pressure.
Yeah,
but it's not just the pressure that you're doing now. It's also that theoretical situation that we just talked about, right? Where the Genji might use this angle to go into Ashe. Guess what? He can't do that right now.
Yeah. I also like when they have a, sorry to cut you off, just when they have a rhyme, like I can also boot, like I'm really good at I am good at tracking ults, or like trying to be at least, or like tracking when he's gonna like rush and pin, and I can get a good deep in.
Yep. Now I was actually going to critique that, because I agree that is something that you can do, but it's actually something in Overwatch 2 that's really fallen off. Case in point here is you go for a boop here. Problem is that the amount of boop distance that you get isn't all that good. And the problem is not just that, the boop here doesn't do that much. It's also what it costs you. Because I want you to critique your positioning here. You're on the wall, you got cover, you're controlling space. And then now where are you, right?
Yeah, not in the complete opposite of that.
You're totally in the open, right? So I don't actually, I would prefer you to hold this cover here, stay on the wall, just keep shooting the guy. Just keep shooting the guy. Keep shooting the guy.
No sense going in, right?
Right.
Once again in the middle.
Yeah, that's okay. It's okay. You see, you're thinking a little bit back here of like, what are you thinking here? I want to hear your thoughts.
I look to see what their comp is, so I know a Sombra's going to try something.
Right. I noticed that.
I'm always checking to see what I always see once we get a kill, if they swap and all that stuff.
Right. Two things though. First thing, I see a critical support, but what do you notice about the positioning of this guy?
He's in the middle.
He's in the middle, right? So do you think that he needed amp or not?
Yeah.
Probably. Why?
Yeah. Because he was about to get sent to the gulag.
What if he had been critical right here?
You
kind of serious. Yeah. Would you have needed amp?
No,
right? It's a difference of cover there. So I think this one's okay. Now, what's the only problem with using amp right now? Is your team really going to use amp speed?
No.
Are you going to use amp speed?
Potentially, yes.
For what?
If I need to get a hero that is overextended out.
How about a Sombra on your backline?
Oh, yes.
So it's not a bad amp, right? There's definitely like logic behind it. It makes sense to me. I'm fine with it. Just be aware. Just be aware.
Yeah. I think I actually do go help the Ashe when it's too late.
Yeah. Nice. And you can kind of see what I'm talking about here, where it's like you I think this is like a little bit of that Rhine value that you were talking about earlier. But in reality, it's like it's an annoyance, but there's something a lot more aggressive and a lot more important on your screen right now. Can you see it?
No, I did not see that. I was like thinking the hog.
Yeah. He's just barely on your screen. But that's exactly my point. Is you need to be looking for this guy, not just because it's Genji, but because once this Sombra's dealt with, it's like, all right, what's next? What's the next squishy here? Because guess what? I would rather you at this point in time put pressure on this Genji and control this Genji than do this a little annoying boop on run. I mean, it's fine.
Especially just because we have a hog too, right? Because he can like just pop his little vape thing and be okay. I don't need to really.
Well, okay. I wouldn't even think that hard because you're right. But let's be honest, you're not going to be thinking very in depth about the tank matchup in the middle of the fight. Like let's not worry about that. I'm going to make things even simpler for you. Deal with squishy more important than deal with tank most of the time.
Okay.
Now, if the Ryan's here and again just like doing something over here, okay, screw it, right? But this guy's right freaking here. And you're still looking at that Ryan. And turns out that this guy is really freaking annoying.
Yeah.
And he almost killed your Ashe. And he's still harassing your Life Weaver. And where are you?
I'm like doing nothing with my tank.
I actually don't. You're peeling off your Ashe. And now you're on the Genji, which is great. But should have been here 5 seconds ago.
Yeah.
So this is what Lucio does. Lucio has this passive aura around his team and then either looks for offensive plays to mess up and distract the enemy team and basically force a reaction that protects his team, right? Like if you go for the Ana, everyone's going to turn around and look at you and it's going to be attention put on you and not your team. That's support. Or you're going to see somebody like Genji trying to make a play or Sombra making a play or Ashe taking a high ground and be like, yo, that's threatening to my team. Let me go deal with that. And that's what makes Lucio so unique is because you're extremely survivable with your wall riding, your speed, your heal, your boop, your damage, your dueling potential, but also you're very fast. So anywhere that needs you to control space, you could be there instantly. And you need to be looking for that as Lucio. Where is my support needed? Get there instantly. Because other supports have way better range than you. Breaking Pack is can orb, Ana can heal, but you can be physically there shooting and healing better than any other support. Other than maybe Kiriko.
Being a little annoying sort of thing to other guys.
Exactly. And you're doing that. This is what you're doing right now is exactly it. Right? It just should have been here 5 seconds ago.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, I should have sped my hog. No, you shouldn't have.
Yeah.
There's nothing that you could do for your hog right now. Even speed, he still dies. So what do? You get here faster, you get here sooner, so that your Life Weaver, so that your Ash. You know what the funny thing is? It's like, why does my Life Weaver fail to help my hog? Why does your Life Weaver leave this position?
I don't know. I never go in voice chat because they.
Well, no. But look. You see?
Oh, because it's Genji here.
Because the Genji. So he leaves this position. He's worried about his own life. He pedals himself, and then that's why he fails to pull your hog.
Right.
So if you had marked Genji, Life Weaver holds the angle. Life Weaver life grips Roadhog, and Roadhog's fine.
Okay.
You see that?
That makes more. Yeah. But I'm too late.
You're too late. And you're too late because you're too focused on the Rhine. It's not that you don't think about peeling or marking Genji necessarily, because you did. You just got distracted by things that were less important.
I switch to Ana, and then I go I switch to Lucio.
That's fine. We'll go back to Lucio here. Okay.
Because I seen we had a Malga, so
yeah. Little things as well, like for example here, I don't know if you pay this is just a goof up, but no way you should be in heals right now.
No, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Little early for that. For sure.
It's all right. You're still doing it. You see it? It's that right obsession, right? This may have made more sense in Overwatch 1 when tanks could be booped further. Because if you could boop this tank in Overwatch 1, this guy goes all the way to here. No joke. And that puts him really in a position. Yeah, I mean, he goes like double. Like he gets double boop distance. But here again, it's like you put yourself at risk for going for this play, but not much reward. That's the problem. It's not that you took risk here, right? You're going to be taking risks with Lucio if you're playing properly. But if you're going to take a risk here, who should you be redditing right now?
At least the Genji Ana, who's really in
she's in the Ana, because if you Reddit the Ana, no healing, no damage, probably absorb nade, no sleep dart, and you might actually kill her. Or Genji, because that's the guy that has the aggressive angle. That's the guy that's the easiest to disrupt and distract, and you can actually boop that guy, right? Okay, so if you're gonna take a risk, make it count.
No more tank obsession starting now.
If there are better targets available. Right?
Okay.
Right? If there are better targets available. Now, this is good. Again, it's like you end up on the Genji on accident. And I'm like, hey, nice job. Boop, distract.
Yeah.
Good. Forces heal, forces pocket, forces deflect. They're good. You know, I mean, you guys are down one. They also used an ultimate, so either way, it was kind of lost. But now what you're going to notice is that me encouraging you to go for things like Genjis and to, by the way, this type of boop on Rhine is perfectly fine. But why? Because your Moira obviously needed it. And who's the most aggressive person in the battlefield? By a long shot. Right. So give him some attention. That boop was helpful, right? But anyway, like my point being is that like whether you go for the Ana or whether you go for the Genji, both of those things in general are going to be more challenging aim-wise and movement-wise than Rhine. So guess what? You're going to get pushed a little bit. And that's what you need.
Yeah.
That's what you need. Just because it's harder doesn't mean it's not the right thing to do. Like even right now, where should you go? You see the red outline at the top left of the screen. Go get him. Let the Bob be the distraction that enables you to go beat the crap out of this guy. Because guess what? He's burning. You've got your CDs. You're full HP. This is on a high ground with a wall that you can ride. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Knock him out. Do not let him stay here because this guy's freaking me out.
I do. Yeah, because I do get tunnel vision.
And what are you're amp healing a Bob? Screw it, man.
He's an extra life. I just found out that Bob can hold point for you, but he's an extra player. Like I didn't know that.
He doesn't need the amp heal because it's always opportunity cost. What could you be doing with this amp instead?
Speed to go to get up on the Genji.
Yeah, go duel. Be totally selfish with it, right? Go kill.
Okay. And then I think, too late again.
Yeah,
right?
you do it. And the best part about it, actually, like, this is great. This is like Renaissance painting right here. This is beautiful. But yeah, I mean, you have the right idea. Again, it's good. Because you're like, oh, scary. It's like, terrifying. But you know what? Look at your HP.
Yeah, I'm full.
I'm going to be honest with you. As a Genji player, or somebody who used to be a Genji player, I hate Lucio. I hate him. It is such a mechanical, like, I have to be a mechanical freak in nature to kill an equally skilled Lucio.
Okay. That's how I feel about a Genji. Like, I've been getting cracked Genji.
Right.
I usually swap to Moira because I can just, like, his deflect doesn't do anything.
Sure, and Moira's fine versus Genji. Moira might even be just as good versus Genji. But if you're struggling immensely versus Genji, I promise you it's a you issue. And that doesn't mean that, and that means you need to keep practicing. That means you need to actively, because you're slippery, you're a hard hitbox, your boop goes through deflect, and you have the mobility to reach me where I don't want you to be able to reach me, right? You could even chase me if I dash away. So this is like obviously like one of the mechanical moments of all time. But you know what? Whatever. Here, you're doing your job, so keep doing your job. This Genji is no threat to your team. You should be able to force his deflect and his resources, and either kill him or force him to go back to his team. And the funny thing is at the same time, do you see the number in the middle of your screen?
Yeah, I'm getting someone in my...
You're 1v1ing somebody, forcing resources onto that person, and still indirectly helping your team.
Okay.
That is Lucio right there. In fact, you had all that you needed here, HP and cover-wise, to stay on that Genji. Stay on him. Stay on him. Keep marking the angle. Keep people in your arc. Do not let this guy play the game. Because the irony here is that you're actually at a much higher risk of dying here. Right? Kitsune, Ryan Shatter, Bastion, Nade, random Kiriko headshots, fire strikes, then you are up here.
Okay.
And at the same time, the inverse is true, where the Genji is immensely more dangerous to your team than the Ryan is in many ways. And certainly you're better equipped to deal with him.
For sure. I usually for some reason, Genjis, like, they intimidate me just because I've had to give me so many problems. But like, I guess it's a skill issue for sure.
And that's where I think it's a good mixture of things, where I think it's like, it feels like maybe an understanding issue, but also it feels like maybe, like you said, not partly skill issue, partly nerves. Not nervous, but like, I know I can get value from Ryan. That's the safe thing, you know? But I would like I'd like to push you a little bit. I mean, look at their comp, right? There's more to do here now. You could break Torb turret. You could harass Ana and Zen. All sorts of things. I mean, do you see what I'm saying? Like, do you feel safe? Do you feel safe right now? Right?
Just right in the middle of everything.
Do you feel safe? Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Right now, there's not a whole lot that you can do besides just play cover and maybe hold. I would probably hold high ground here just in case. But then as these guys walk forward, first off, you get off the floor. And then as these guys walk forward, here's if obviously if you guys know about Pop Ultimate, but if they walk underneath you, you go dive them, and then you wall right away if they succeed in peeling you off. Nice beat, by the way.
Spotify Premium, baby. Turrets. I feel like I'm the only one that shoots turrets on my team. Okay, that's fine, right? That's fine.
That's fine. Now let's talk about this. So, first off, you don't have your amp. That's not a bad thing. You're not full HP. It's not a bad thing, but be careful.
Right.
So you're gonna do a drive-by here. What should you do right now?
Probably go in there and take the pack, right?
Tuck to cover, right? Then re-engage. Because the way to look at Lucio duels is it's generally fine. Remember what we talked about at the start? As long as you have cover, wall, full HP. Let's put it this way. If you put Lucio on the floor and put another target in front of him, most targets would dumpster Lucio in a 1v1. But then you just throw in Lucio in a 1v1 like here, put the person here, put the Lucio up here with the walls and this and that. All of a sudden that you get like a 25% passive buff, right? Yeah. So it's like utilizing, doing exactly what you're doing here. Wall ride, zoom, tuck in here, grab the mic, bam, you know, it's like, it's terrifying. Yeah, it's terrifying.
Yeah, I go the wrong way.
So it's just like, it's not a great use of cover. So it's not that the duel that you did was bad. You just didn't play at all to your strengths. That's all there is. But see, that's where you need to look at it and be like, you know, was it a bad decision? Or was the way that I played it bad?
I usually try to reflect at least a little bit before I respond on how I died. But like, oh, okay, I overextended too much, or like I wasn't playing with my team. Like,
but see, I wouldn't reflect on it in the moment, to be honest with you.
Just kind of play.
I would let it go. But what I would do is, I don't know how easy it is to use the replay viewer and console, but I pull up that fight real fast and watch that fight back.
It's easy. The only thing I haven't figured out how to do is like scroll, like how to like jump, like
this. So I'll show you the keybind.
No, not that. Like if you got to drag it and jump, like say 5 or 10 minutes or whatever.
Oh, so you got to click like how to drag it.
Yeah, like that little blue bar with the white.
The easiest thing to do if you can't drag it with console is just to go into your options here, scroll down, and set your time skip interval length to what you want.
Oh, okay.
So it's the default is 20, which is way too much, right?
Yeah.
So you might like do 20, 20, 20, 20. Okay, it's right about to where the fight is about to happen. And then I usually set to like 7. But if you're only watching like one fight, you could even set to like 5. Right. And that would be useful. Sadly, that setting doesn't save. It sucks. Every time you restart Overwatch, you have to do it again. But yeah, I mean, what I would do is in the moment, just let it go, and focus on the next fight. But then, yeah, it is worth going back. But like, I look at that fight and I do not think that was a stupid engage or stupid duel. I just think he played it terribly.
Right.
Who are you helping right now? What angle are you controlling? You see, this is the Rhine lock, right? This is the Rhine lock. Meanwhile, wait, do you see what I'm saying? This is he needs to die. He needs to die. Or you could take the wall up here, break turret, poke turret. Once turret's down, just dive bomb this Zenyatta. If you have the element of surprise and you drop onto this guy, you will win this 1v1. Because he's so fat. He's so fat.
Basically do what Genji's doing, but to their team.
Exactly. Now, the one downside about this, Frogger kind of foolishness is that you don't have anybody in your aura. So you always prefer 1v1s that are relatively close to your team. But it doesn't mean that it's bad. Like let's say there's no Genji to peel. Let's say you're playing versus the Widow that we talked about earlier. Then you are your tracer. That you play like a tracer. That's what you do. So the Frogger style is definitely something that you shouldn't always do, but it's legitimately the thing to do in many circumstances.
Okay.
It's the thing to do. If there's nothing to control, no off angle, nothing to peel, nothing to mark, it's no speed value, you need to go be a diver. You need to be a threat. Like this is the Rhine obsession. You're about to get shattered.
Yeah.
So instead of like, haha, you suck, where should you be? Where should you be? In fact, we'll give you a few seconds to make that decision right here. Where should you be?
Looking in the back line for... Yes, sir.
Get him out.
Yeah.
Or go with your Moira and force trans. Yeah. You see? And the funny thing is, your R would help here too, right?
Yeah.
Your R would be very useful here. You guys could have 2v2'd back here or 3v3, right? Now it's weird because a lot of Lucio is like speeding your tank here and there, so do keep an eye on that. But remember, you can assist your tank and also mark Genji at the same time.
Okay.
I'm
just helping out their own teammates here.
Right. It's not necessarily that you shouldn't even be helping out the tank war, but if you're going to be helping out the tank war, where do you need to be?
On the other side of them, right? Like kind of.
Or even if you are helping tank war, don't be on the floor.
Okay.
I'm throwing a lot at you right now. You can dive in. No, I'm a sponge. You can peel back, but if you're going to help tank war, get off the floor. That's kind of what I want.
That's kind of my mindset with Doomfist. It's just like ride the wall constantly, but I guess do that more frequently.
Yeah, but that's mechanically difficult, right?
Yeah.
But that's you're playing the game a lot. You're gonna have reps. See, this is where if you want to get into your fun practice mode, the segmentation that we talked about earlier. When you go into fun, have the hard Reddit Lucio account, where you literally just are hard, only just you're absolutely going crazy. You're not paying attention to your cooldown usage or your team. You're just screwing around and you're just wall riding and that legitimately is good. I think the one thing that you can practice when you're having fun is mechanics, But yeah, that's my recommendation. Let's I think we should stop there so we have enough time to look at some Moira. That okay with you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so any questions with the Lucio? I know that was kind of a dump, but
No, man, not at all. Like I feel like I can go back and listen to this and watch it too as much as I
Okay,
want.
good, good.
But no, like as long as I can take a couple pieces, implement them, and notice that I'm getting better at them, or like for example, like one thing I like really take into account is like stop focusing on the tank. Like that's once I basically tell me once, I'm usually pretty good at it.
Sure. I think certainly Lucio's tank value is in many ways, especially in ranked, is more assisting your tank and less with denying the enemy tank. I guess. I think there's a lot more. Let's put it this way: there's a lot more beyond the tank war. I want you to explore that, and I want you to explore how you're positioning, who you're dueling, and focus on keep on shoring up your mechanics. Very rarely will I say practice your mechanics in a review. Guess what? Practice your mechanics. Practice your mechanics. Because to be honest with you, the play style that you need to learn and the mechanics that you need to practice go hand in hand. If you focus on the play style, your mechanics will get better. If you focus on your mechanics, your play style will get better. Because it's the same thing, really.
Yeah.
You need to push yourself a little bit. Push your awareness and find where can you contribute. Where can I help? Okay. Which Moira VOD do you want to look at here?
We can look at the Midtown one. That's the most recent one.
Got it. Let's take a look here. I copied that. I am actually brain dead. You did not see that. I just quickly copied it really fast. I didn't even look at what I highlighted. I actually just put in Midtown.
I've done that before. You're writing something down and you're writing when someone's speaking to you.
That is awful. That is atrocious. Okay, Moira. Now, the fun part about Moira is that she and Lucio in many ways are similar. You can vomit healing, right? And I look at that as like the speeding your tank of Moira, right? It is something that you're going to utilize, something you're going to do. Yeah, great. But the other thing too is in the same ways that like Lucio can control off angles and find pressure in the backline. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Whenever you put like these really survivable supports, that's generally where they get value. Dueling off angles and pressuring the enemy backline.
I think my mindset here is I'm waiting for them to kind of come to us. So then I have like this, I can like bait upstairs or like go back. There's a pack behind me.
My only thing here is that if there's this many of my teammates pushing forward, I might push forward a little bit too.
Yeah.
It's not, you're probably like assuming they're going to back up. Don't assume. Don't assume. Don't assume. Don't necessarily walk in front of them and be like, hey, follow me, boys. But play approximately with them, I would also be spamming damage orbs like no tomorrow. I'm not going to lie to you. As long as you have healing resource, you should be spamming damage orbs whenever you can. Obviously,
okay.
Yeah,
I'm thinking opposite.
Be careful of Diva. Yeah. So Diva's tricky because she'll eat your stuff. The reason why, now, before there used to be like a really legitimate choice about heal or damage orb, but a lot of things have changed in Overwatch 2. One, there's a removal of a tank, so there's less healing needed. The other thing that's changed is you know that damage orb gives you heal resource, correct?
Yep.
Okay. That's something you need to be exploiting. The other thing that's changed is as support, it's a lot more important that you control space and off angles and all those kind of things, right? Exactly what we're talking about, Lucio. Literally the exact same thing. Damage orbs help you do that. Heal orbs do not. Not generally. If I see this right here and I hear a soldier going trot, trot, trot up here, this guy needs to be under pressure. I need to force his heal station. The only way to force that heal station is to throw a damage orb into space.
Okay.
I don't want him comfortable and cozy shooting up there. The other thing with heal orb as well is that it is the highest amount of resource that you can get in an orb. It's 300 versus, I think, 200 for a damage orb, right? Problem is you almost never get that. So we're going to watch this here. All right. Good. Nice. Look at all that. Look at all that bouncing. Look at that. Wow, that's massive. That's huge. It's huge. But how much did you get? 80 healing? 90? Maybe 100? Yeah. And that's the equivalent of honestly just one puff. And what did you not get as a result? Well,
no damage.
No damage. Yeah. You would have done about the same amount of damage to the soldier and forced a resource and controlled space. Right? And this is a almost best case scenario heal orb. So let me give you two scenarios in which heal orb is going to be used. You ready?
Yeah.
To heal yourself, especially if you're 1v1ing, it's broken. And you're just unkillable, right? You know how that goes.
Yeah.
Two, if there is somebody who's critical, you need a big burst of healing right now. Use it.
Okay.
Most of the time, You see these Moiras out here with these perfect balance orbs to sustain mid-fight. Garbage. Absolute garbage. The most overrated Moira thing in the history of the universe. Don't worry about it. You don't need it.
Damage orbs it is. I did have a 1v1 with the Moira where we just kept chucking heal orbs and we ended up crouching up and down, like saying like we're good, and we just peeled off and we left.
You can't kill each other. This kind of stuff right here is garbage.
Like
she does not need it. She does not need it. Puff her again and then let her go, because you're going to turn this corner here and you're going to see two things. One, a soldier that needs a damage orb. This guy must be under pressure now. You have to support your team. The second thing is a Bastion that's out in the open and critical. You must heal orb this guy, right? Yeah. This is a guy to heal orb, right? You need that puff and the heal orb combo here. You need that burst heal here, but you have neither. You didn't have the damage orb to pressure the soldier. You didn't have the heal orb to keep the Bastion alive, so you have nothing.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna do? You're gonna vomit your healer resource and he's gonna die. And he's gonna die. He's gonna die to the soldier
who hasn't had a tinkle of pressure all game.
And that's it. That's it exactly. So you see what I'm talking about when it comes to controlling space. And you see how, in a way, it's kind of like Lucio. We talked about like where we followed the butterfly effect of like what the uncontested Genji did to your team in the first fight. Remember that? It was like, did this. Well, here's the uncontested soldier. The guy that Lucio has the mobility to reach this. You do too. But what Moira has that Lucio doesn't, if you got a little bit of range, with that damage orb especially, right? You didn't use it, they die. So you could throw heal orbs so the gals come home, but there's no pressure.
Like I do prioritize, like this is my mindset as of before I got the coaching session was heal orb is going to be the most value, and then I'll suck the enemy team until I can like regen my heal. So like I had it backwards, I think. So you're going to see a lot of that.
I wouldn't even say necessarily that you had it backwards, because it's not so binary. What I want you to think about with orbs is with heal orb is it's a burst of support when it's necessary. So if you think that your team's going to need that burst of support, okay, sit on it, wait for it, use it. Or use it or wait for when that situation provides. If you see an opportunity to contest a squishy, generally a squishy, with damage orb, do it. Do it. Or if you see a big clump of enemies, you can get a massive get the entire 200 damage sucked off from 4 or 5. That's a huge. It's not a lot of pressure, but it's a little bit of pressure to everybody. And that's a lot of pressure. Not to mention ult charge.
Yeah.
You need to get some resource back here. What orb should you use right now? Obviously.
Damage.
I baited you. It's a heal orb. Look at your Orisa.
Ooh, yeah.
You see this? She's, look at her HP, right?
Yeah.
She needs a heal orb right now.
And look, they had a damage orb.
So you were slow. You were slow.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe you weren't slow. Maybe you just didn't have it because you wasted heal orb again. But here, now you're a little slow. So this is where you needed to be healing your Orisa and then heal orbing your Orisa. I mean, I think that's about the highest healing per second without an ultimate that you're going to get in Overwatch is heal plus heal orb. From Moira, I don't think there is a support that can heal faster, but you're slow in the heal orb. You throw it at the wrong target, and then you're also not healing your Orisa at the same time.
Yeah.
So even when you are heal orbing, you're doing it wrong. That's okay. I just get to make fun of you a little bit.
Yeah. No, that's all good. I like that. That's why
let's enjoy this damage orb here. So good suck.
A taste of poison.
1, 2, 3, 4. And you're actually forcing so many healing resources right now. The Mercy hasn't broken yellow beams in 6 years. And the damage orb and the Sojourn's one, the damage orb actually gets fully used. It's totally used, and look at your ult charge. 8% ult charge, 55 to 63. It's good. It slowed down them being able to walk forward, right? Yep, it's hard to measure damage orb in the middle of the clump sometimes, but it adds up. It adds up.
Yeah, I never noticed. I always thought that like usually if my team sees a damage orb, they'll I get flamed. Like it's like
people are morons. Yeah, people are morons. Moira is just really, if you want a healer that like just continually sustains people, you play Baptiste or you play Ana. Moira is not good at it. You run out of resource too fast, and you're also not utilizing her 1v1 potential. Moira's strength is her 1v1 potential, which if you're not utilizing, you're trolling. The only thing that makes Moira unique in the healing department is burst heal, which we just talked about, which her burst heal is phenomenal, especially on tank targets. But she can't sustain a tank for a long period of time without running into problems, generally. Right. So there's a reason why all the best Moira players are all find an opportunity to aggress. They're all DPS, not DPS hardcore Moira, only DPS Moiras, but they all have at least 50% DPS Moira in them. Every single one that's reached top 500. Without exception. Now this heal orb, let's talk about this heal orb. What do you think of this heal orb?
It's good, right?
Why?
Junkrat's getting pressured. He's now low.
It looked like he was going to get nuked. He did get nuked. In fact, the only thing that you missed is you probably should have puffed him a little bit after the heal orb, right? I don't think you would have kept them up, but this is a good heal orb. Somebody's under a ton of pressure. They needed the help. You could have saved them. Maybe. You didn't. That's okay. Good. Play cover. Okay, you're probably dead here. Heal orb. Now, why is that heal orb good?
Because it saves me. It
saves you. That's it. I would not. You don't have orb. You don't have fade. Your team isn't spawn. Just wait for the reset.
And I was first. Like my tank wasn't even
exactly. You know the routine. Why are you heal orbing? What are you heal orbing?
I just gotta let the tanks know that I'm gonna heal them a little bit.
Yeah, my gosh.
Sometimes I honestly hit the wrong button, but that might.
Okay, that happens. That happens. But right now, damage orb. I need to get this guy out. I need to force his healing station. This Sojourn, I do not want her damage boosted. I want this Mercy to keep that heal beam on her because that's the difference between a one-shot and a not a one-shot, right? Yeah. That damage orb will do that. Damage orb will also get you that ult that you need right now. Heal orb here. These people do not need burst healing. You know what you would do instead? Damage orb the Sojourn that's just slid up there, right?
Just push him off.
Right. Now, if I see this, oh no, my Junkrat's being fought by the soldier and I can't get up there and help. Maybe a heal orb here is good. Because the funny thing is you actually heal orb was terrible. But this actually ends up working out great. You see this?
Saves up and pulls them out.
So you get it kept them alive, but you didn't know that. So you know we judge intentions, right? Terrible heal orb. Accident. Terrible heal orb. Just like me for real. Heal orb here is totally useless. Basically full HP tank. You need this damage orb to either regenerate your heal resources, to pressure the squishies. I mean, this is just terrible.
Oh no, this might be bad.
See, this is where you would need heal orb, right? This is where you need it. If you already have ult, you don't see a squishy to orb, then save the orb because this is where you needed the burst healing. You don't have it. That's it. I don't think it was a terrible call. It was reasonable. You were trying to save your Zarya. It's not like it was like a nano blade that you're trying to counter with.
Oh no.
Right? But it was fine. It just no. All right, kill something here. Please kill something. Good heal orb. Oh my goodness, your thumb must be like aching. No! He's fine.
Dude, I know. Like that's my mindset.
Remember when we asked on the Lucio VOD, should you amp this or not? You said yes. Why? Because remember where the Junkrat was standing? It was actually a Junkrat. It was a Junkrat. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah. He was standing in the open, right?
Yeah. No, he's safe here.
He's safe here, right? He's safe here. And it's like the difference between that heal orb and this heal orb here, where this Junkrat was like getting like absolutely, it was like D-Day for this Junkrat, right? Totally fine, right? But this heal orb, it's the same thing. The same decision that you make when I should heal orb somebody, whether I should amp a squishy, it's the same decision. Is the squishy safe? If not, don't amp it. Don't orb it. Save it. You need that cooldown to make a play. And it's the same thing. Like orb can be used to help you make a play. Amp can be used to make a play. So, you know, I wouldn't be running away. I would be like, you know, I got an orb here. I've got my fade. I'm going to go up here and I don't like this Sojourn being up here. I know the Diva's here. I don't give a rip. I have a fade and an orb. I'm unkillable. I'm Moira. You know what I'm saying? I'm a creepy old lady. I can do whatever I want. And you heal orb nothing, just like general healing, and then go for a play. Because the irony, here's the irony. You are orbing this. I'm going to try and reach into your psyche here. I think you're orbing this because you're like, I'm going to heal you and then go do my play.
Exactly. Like here's a little healing before I go do some
Right, right. You're a good mama. You're gonna leave like a box lunch before you go run out and do something else, right?
Yeah.
But the reality, the best thing you could do for this Bastion is puff him once, for the HOT, right?
Yeah.
And then just because you need the orb for the play. Where's your orb going to be better served? To maybe heal 10 healing in your Bastion? Oh, this is just beautiful. Let's thank you so much for that orb, right? Or to do what you're doing right freaking now.
Yeah,
you need this orb. This is crucial. This is the difference between life and death right now. Literally.
And I just say no.
And you don't have it. And so guess who your team's going to die to?
Soldier with the aimbot.
Oh, maybe not. Oh, you know what he did here? You know why he didn't kill your team? He did something amazing. He did something amazing. Watch it. Burst healing necessary. Yeah, guess what? It does the job. Yeah. Nice job. Well done. So while we're busy beating you over the head with a hammer, we give you a nice pat in the head. Yeah. Really, this was a great healer. This was a good healer. Burst healing was necessary. You had it available. So there you go. So the challenge with Moira is always making those decisions between, oh no, this really bad thing might happen. I need my heal orb to deny that. Or do I hate waiting around, wondering if something bad's going to happen. I'm going to instead use my damage orb, my fade, whatever, proactively. Not necessarily fading proactively, but like playing aggressive and then having that fade to get out, right? And we use my damage orb now. I'm going to get value now. That's the challenge with Moira, right? I want that to be the quandary, the crossword puzzle, the Sudoku, the impossible puzzle for you. Not, I'm just going to throw out heal orbs randomly.
Right, okay.
That's the problem you have to solve is like, when is a good time to save heal orb for that burst versus just using it to consistently apply pressure to off angles and squishies. That's the challenge that you have to figure out. I'm not going to answer those questions. You're going to have to go figure out those questions out on your own. But this is the kind of quandary that you need. Not all the crap that's happened before this. Even this, right? Could you be healing your team or could you be killing the soldier? You chose to kill the soldier. You know what? It's not a bad idea. You're not going to get punished for that. I like this. Do it. Get her. Nice. Moira things. You know what I'm saying? I don't even, I don't even mind this because you're throwing the heal orb and you're thinking, she's about to get bursted, right? Yeah. I know she is. And you know what? It almost helped her, right? It almost did. So I obviously, to be honest with you, I think she was just dead, to be frank. But I don't even have a problem with that heal orb because there's logic behind it. There's like that person is going to get smoked. I can't reach them. They need heal orb. So that's the question you have to ask yourself. Get off the diva. Get on the squishy. Okay. Yes. But to be honest with you, I think you're better served there just damaging. If you're standing out in the open, you got to save yourself. That heal orb makes total sense. Why?
Because they're low, junk's kind of low in the back.
Yeah.
Critical.
People are desperate need of healing and you can't reach them. Heal orb.
Yeah.
And guess what? It does the job. It didn't even heal that much. That was terrifying. It didn't even heal that much, but it did just enough.
I think they got her just in time. I have a hilarious. Oh my god! Look at me.
Oh my god. Okay.
Is that circle the squish range?
The full circle, no. That's the impact. Okay. It's. Let's put it this way: you were just within range right there. Okay. You would have been one shot, just barely, but I think you would have been one shot. Okay, Moira. Lucio and Moira, really. Shoot, we didn't take notes with Lucio. Let's go back with Lucio. What do you need to practice with Lucio?
Amp the right person. Do not let squishies dive my backline. You're going down the details, which are great, but I want you to think big picture. What needs to change with the way that you're viewing Lucio? Excuse me. I think my cooldown usage was really bad.
You're still digging in the dirt. Stop digging in the dirt. Think big picture. What do you need to practice with Lucio? You go into your next game, what needs to be practiced with this? Your whole mentality of what the character does.
I feel like I'm overcomplicating it in my head.
I think so. I think you are too. Genji.
Be annoyed, sort of
thing. Be annoying. Yeah. Control space. Dual squishies. Don't only focus on the tank trade.
Is Genji considered like a squishy? Like I was thinking it was only like Ana and
anything that is not 500 HP or 450 HP is a squishy.
Okay.
Because you think about like, oh, May and Reaper, I can't kill them. Yeah, but you know what you can do? You can stop them from fighting in melee range, right? Like, let's think about it this way. If you're playing with a Ryan, the best thing you could do for your Ryan versus a Reaper is boop the Reaper away. It sucks for the Reaper to get booped. Because guess what? He goes flying. He doesn't have the tank passive. You boop the May's in your, you're on his backline, boop her back. She can't freeze anymore.
Right. Okay.
You're not supposed to, the thing with Lucio is you're not even necessarily supposed to win every 1v1. You're supposed to be like, haha, you want to do that? No, you can't do it. Sorry. Right? Same thing with Sombra and Tracer. Find a Widowmaker. Force the Mercy to sit on her 24/7 because she's scared of you. Don't let the Genji take angles. And while you're doing that, focus on your positioning with walls, cover, and your CDs, amp specifically, and mechanics that allow you to do those things.
Yeah, I think there's lots of I need to put more hours in on specific things, not just picking the character and just
right. And that's it exactly. That's why I was pushing the playstyle thing so much because I don't want you to just be like, I'm going to focus on my amp usage. I'm going to practice Lucio more. No, I want you to work on learning and adapting your playstyle a little bit with Lucio so that during those hours, you're pushing yourself a little bit. Just a little bit. Can I see what I'm saying? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Moira. You need to be practicing Moira.
Damage orbs. No heal orbs.
See that again, you're trying to, okay, I'm going to say something a little bit rude here. You're trying to awkwardify the advice. You ever heard of awkward? Overwatch?
Awkward.
The damage guy? Maybe not. Okay. Then you're fine. He's a content creator, which he tends to make his whole spiel is he makes things very, very, very black and white, which makes it very easy to remember, but doesn't really tell the full picture. So you'll be like, no more heal orb, only damage orb. No, that's not the lesson that we've learned today. What's the lesson that we've learned today?
Yeah,
You're smarter than that. You understand nuance. May not fully understand the nuance right now, but what's going to help you to understand the nuance? What do you need to be thinking about?
Be smarter about who I'm healing if they need it. I can always just burst heal them, right? Or
it's burst heal or selfish. Otherwise, what is the damage orb for?
To build my burst.
Building ult. Yep. What else? Or
I'm putting pressure on the other team.
Right? Squishies, angles. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, force their cooldown.
Yep, that's it. That was the vast majority of what we talked about. But the reason that we talked about that so much is because if you think about it, that's what Moira's playstyle is. It's about burst healing, harassing and dueling squishies. And if you start to think more about your orbs, you might start to notice that your positioning starts to change a little bit. And your target priority changes a little bit. And even your fade and ult usage changes a little bit. I think orbs is everything with Moira. I think your orbs are what changes how you play. And I think if you think about these things, you'll find more value, period, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
okay.
I do play a lot into I don't it's the whole stat thing, right? Where it's don't pick Moira, or don't throw damage orbs. You need to be healing the whole time. Well, I got to get out of that whole mindset.
Yep. I think I just want you to be more cognizant of what does the situation demand?
Yeah.
Do I think I need to save healing orb just in case? When I go on a flank and I'm going to harass the back line, do I damage orb or do I heal orb for myself? Because that's a legitimate question, right? Damage orb is going to get that kill. Damage orb is going to get you that heal resource back, but you die a lot faster. Most of the time, it's probably going to be damage orb, but I don't know. Go ahead. Sorry.
I try to have a conscious to have a mobility to get out. Say if I'm even playing DPS and I'm Reaper and I need the fade to get out, or I need my Moira fade. I'm always trying to be conscious that I have that. So I just guess I need to be conscious of the other ones.
Yeah, exactly. And I think I want you to think a little bit like Lucio. Lucio, ask yourself, how are you supporting your team through pressure onto enemy squishies? The same thing. The priority is pressure on enemy squishies and helping your team as necessary. And then you need to ask yourself, how are my orbs helping that job? Don't just randomly use them. Don't just randomly position. Ask yourself, is it better to me healing my tank right now or harassing that Widowmaker? What is more accessible? Do I have the cooldowns? Do I have the position to harass that Widowmaker? And yeah. Moira is a simple hero in many ways, but there's still, like with every character in Overwatch, that one big jump you have to learn when it comes to mastering what the character has to do. Once you do that, arguably the character's pretty much, you've solved it pretty much, right? Then it just comes down to execution. But you still have a big jump left ahead of you, and that's really exciting, right? Oh, yeah. That's really exciting because there's so much that you can do. So, you might figure these things out with Moira and get bored, but, figuring those things out is going to be really fun. And crucially, it's not just, it's stuff that carries over to so many other heroes too, which makes it fun.
Yeah, I'm excited to put this stuff to use and kind of come back to you and let you know how it goes.
Okay. Well, keep me updated with how stuff goes. I will